On May 31, 1911, Lord and Lady Peary, both celebrating birthdays, hosted a group of distinguished visitors in Belfast for the launch of Titanic and the completion of Olympic. The guests included J. Bruce Ismay, IMM owner J. P. Morgan, White Star director Harold Sanderson, and former White Star partner W. S. Graves. After being received at the shipyard office, they moved to a specially built grandstand that was set apart from the thousands of people who came to witness the historic moment. Aided by 23 tons of soap, tallow, and train oil spread on the slipway, the ship slid easily into the River Lagan, reaching 12 knots and coming to a gentle stop 1 minute later. She was then towed to the fitting-out basin for completion. In spite of the red flag hoisted on the stern, 2 rockets, and an 8-minute warning, shipwright James Dobbin had been fatally injured by a falling support he was knocking out during Titanic's launch, which pinned his leg. Unaware of the mishap, White Star officials celebrated over lunch, accepted the now completed Olympic, and sailed her to Liverpool to begin her maiden voyage. It was quite odd to some, however, that neither of the ships were christened. White Star was a modern company that had little interest in such time-honored ceremonies as beginning each launch with a christening. No one broke a champagne bottle across the bow. Instead, Harland & Wolff's managing director, Charles A. Payne, at a nod from Lord Peary, signaled a few foremen to open a release valve. The spectacle of the event was watching the massive hull slide into the River Lagan while the crowd cheered and nearby ships tooted their horns and sirens. The superstitious wondered if there would someday be dire consequences for launching ships without a gesture of divine protection. The pragmatic simply shrugged and said, "They just builds 'em and shoves 'em in." As for Dobbin, his friends dragged him to safety at the last moment, and the foreman included him in the head count. But Dobbins was in no condition to celebrate the launch. He was taken by ambulance to Belfast's Royal Victoria Hospital and died the next day from contusions and shock. He was 43. Additionally, the launch of Titanic was met with skepticism by an editor at the Irish News and Belfast Morning News. He reminded his readers what Zeus had done to the enormous Titans when they challenged the gods. He smote the strong and daring Titans with thunderbolts, and their final abiding place was in some limbo beneath the lowest depths of the Tartarus. This editorial went on to wonder why an image-conscious shipbuilder would name such a magnificent creation after a group of giants who symbolized the vain efforts of mere strength to resist to ordinances of the more civilized order established by Zeus, their triumphant enemy. The irony of these words would soon ring with a terrible echo